Good afternoon, folks, and welcome to the Bartlett Area Chamber of Commerce May membership meeting coming from you live from the Bartlett Chamber of Commerce office at 2969 Elmore Park Road. We're delighted that you're here to join us. This is our second virtual membership meeting. We're trying to get it right, so bear with us. We also hope that you had a great Memorial Day weekend. We hope that you were able to get out and kick off summer. We just hope that none of you were at the Lake of the Ozarks pool party. If you were, you might want to stay in your bedroom for about the next 2 weeks. But other than that, we're going to kick it off. As you know, we rely upon our monthly membership sponsors to help cover these lunches, and today is no exception. I want to reach out to all of our sponsors for the year, IAC, Ava Maria, Trustmark Bank, Methodist North Hospital, Southern Security, Memphis Funeral Home, SunTrust Bank, First Horizon, and St. Francis Hospital. So, we're going to move right along. If you joined us last month, you remember that we asked some questions. And that if you could answer those questions quickly, chat them in to us, and you will receive a gift certificate for $25 to a restaurant that is a member, a restaurant of your choice. All you need to do is tell us which restaurant it is, and we will get that gift certificate to you. So here's the first question. Name a bank that is a BACC charter member. Okay, if you know that answer, chat it in, and Laurain will get those answers, and the person that gets it in first wins the prize. Okay, we got that. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce someone that really needs no introduction. He has been a face for Bartlett for longer than most people watching have probably been on this earth, so quite a while. But you all know Lester Brown. He's with First Horizon Bank. He used to manage the main branch here in Bartlett, and he is now in some new title. I'm going to let him explain to you what it is. But he also serves on the board of directors for the Bartlett Chamber of Commerce, and we appreciate that very much. He's a great asset for this Chamber of Commerce and for this community. And with no further ado, I'm going to introduce Lester Brown. Lester.
Good afternoon, and thank you all for joining us for this presentation today. As John said, my name is Lester Brown, and I'm a private client relationship manager at First Horizon Bank, Bartlett. I like to consider myself as a quarterback for a team of experts that try to identify pitfalls and clients' financial strategies and provide solutions with successful outcomes. We are very proud today to be the May luncheon sponsor, and we're also very proud to be the business advocate supporting the series Staying Ahead of the Curve that's dedicated to small business owners. We are very proud to do that. We're very proud to be in the Bartlett community and serving the many constituents. With that, I'd like to introduce the branch manager, Heather Nash.
Thank you, Lester. Hi, I'm Heather, and I'm proud to say I've been a Bartlett resident for over 20 years. Both my boys graduated from Bartlett High School. I've been with First Horizon for just about 8 years and almost 2 years at the Bartlett main location. I'm in a unique position where I can actually say I love my job, I love my customers, I miss my customers, and I'd like to see them very soon. Hopefully that will happen. And the past couple months have been wrought with opportunities that we've managed to work through and progress through, and hopefully we did it with the littlest or the minimal impact with the greatest amount of good doing for our customers. With that being said, First Horizon worked very hard to be able to work through our response to the COVID-19, and I think we have a short video to show you what we've done.
All right, we're back. And again, we want to thank First Horizon for being the sponsor for the May membership meeting. Okay, got another question for you folks. Now, we're getting very historical here, and we're going to be asking some technical questions, really. You need to know your history. So this is not going to be an easy answer, okay? Okay, so here's the next question. In 1985, Richard Medical ENT was the first company to open in Bartlett's new industrial park. What is the name of the current company in the same location manufacturing the same product line? If you know the answer to that question, chat it in. Laurain will get that, and we'll announce the winners at the end of the program. But anyway, we want to make you earn your prize. And remember, the prize is a $25 gift certificate to a restaurant of your choice that is a Bartlett Chamber member. Okay, with that, I'm going to turn it over to Marley Young, who is our Director of Communications, and Marley has got some updates that she wants to bring to you.
Thank you. Hi, hope everyone's doing well today. Thank you for joining us for our second virtual membership meeting. We would like to thank all of our lunch sponsors or membership meeting sponsors throughout the year. This is our second virtual experience, and we're not sure how long this is going to go on, but we're very thankful for all of our sponsors, especially First Horizon, for making this happen today. I'm just going to go over a couple of quick things, news at the Chamber. We are really excited to be opening the farmers market very soon. I don't have a direct date or an exact date as of yet, but we're working very closely with the city. We are going to be moving the farmers market from its normal location at Freeman Park due to COVID testing there, and we're going to be having it at another location in Bartlett as soon as possible. So it will be open to the public. We're going to be following additional state and CDC guidelines, but we're looking for vendors. We have a number of our vendors coming back from last year, and we're always looking for more vendors. And our the pavilion that's been a couple years in the making will be opening midsummer, and we're going to do a big grand opening then as soon as we can get back into that pavilion, but it'll be in a temporary location in the beginning. Moving on from there, we have signs provided from the state of Tennessee. Do I have this digitally or? Okay, so these from the state of Tennessee, the Tennessee Pledge, and they state, that you're following the Tennessee Pledge, that you want people to be temped before they come into your business, wear face coverings, etc. We have a number of these available at the Chamber. If you would like some, or if you need some to hang in your business, please just give us a call or feel free to stop by. Maybe call beforehand. We are on some different hours, and we would love to give you one. We a couple per business. If you need one, we have them here. Moving on from there, we are still working on our Unsung Heroes project, and we've gotten a number of really excellent nominations, but that's still open. So if you haven't nominated your Unsung Hero, go to bartlettchamber.org and follow the Unsung Heroes link in order to get those nominations in. Also, lastly, we are distributing the end of our Bartlett Insights magazines from the 2019-2020 publication. And Savannah Donnelly, we introduced her during the last virtual membership meeting. She's working with us in economic development here at the Chamber, and she has been delivering those. So if you need more, we have some left. If you don't have enough at your business, if you want more to distribute, if you had an article about you written in there last year and you don't have one to keep at home on your library, just let us know. We will get those to you. And I think that's all I have. So thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it, and we will see you soon.
Thank you, Marley. By the way, while we have your attention, if there are any updates or information about the community that you would like to bring to the attention of the rest of the membership, now's a great time to do that. Just chat that in to us now. And as I mentioned earlier, Laurain will get that and pass that on, and then at the end of the program, we'll announce those. So if you've got any information or news that you think is worthy to the general membership, please feel free to chat that in to us. Okay, got another question for you. Okay, again, as I said, these are going to be tough questions. Okay, it's not going to be easy. Last month it was real easy. So here's the next question. In 1986, the groundbreaking occurred for what new company which has become the largest private employer in Bartlett? Okay, now I gave you a lot of hints there, so if you know the answer to that, chat it in. And again, the prize is $25 gift certificate to a restaurant who is a member of the Bartlett Area Chamber of Commerce. You get to tell us who it is you want. Okay, question number 2. Evidently nobody knew question number 1, but question number 2. No, let's see. Oh, okay, the first charter bank. No, that answer is incorrect, Linda. So, no. Name a bank that is a BACC charter member, meaning that they were with us when the year that we were founded, which was 1980. So, do not have a correct answer on that yet.
She's with Trustmark.
Oh, I know, but what's the answer?
Olympus.
Huh?
Olympus.
Oh, they gave it. Oh, okay. I am so sorry. Folks. With a little miss-up in the communications. Linda, you were correct. I just didn't have the answer on the little note here. But yes, I'm sorry, Linda. You were correct. On the question about Olympus is the medical device company that is currently in Bartlett. So anyway, you were correct, and you get your prize. Okay. Next, I'm going to move on to our introduction of Todd Rustin, who's then going to introduce our guest speaker. Todd, many of you know Todd. He is a senior financial advisor for First Horizon. When I arrived out here 12, 13 years ago, Todd was one of the first guys that I met. He's been a face for this community, and he is. And I'm assuming, Todd, that you don't really have to have a whole lot of money to get advice from you, because I know I don't have a whole lot of money, and you are my advisor. So I'm telling you, if you know, this guy doesn't matter if you're, what you got, because I know he's not making any money off me. But anyway, Todd, I'm going to ask you to come up, and you're going to introduce our speaker.
Gotcha.
Thank you, John. As John said, my name is Todd Rustin, and I sit on a wealth management team for First Horizon Advisors that takes a lot of direction from the fellow you're about to hear from. We do family office services like investment management, financial planning, estate planning, and various insurance and protection strategies. I've worked in the Bartlett area or lived here since I was 3 years old, so I've been here a long time. So if you need a second opinion of what's out there in the wealth realm, would love to have the opportunity to serve you. I have the honor and pleasure of working alongside Jerry Laurain, our speaker today, every day, and he has a vast wealth of knowledge in the wealth management field. Jerry has been involved in financial markets for over 40 years. Since joining First Horizon Advisors as Chief Investment Officer in 2007, he has helped to expand and modernize the investment strategies for the bank's clients. He frequently conducts investor seminars and workshops and meets one-on-one with clients and prospects. His prior experience includes working with banks, brokerage firms, and even securities exchanges. Jerry's previous accomplishments include launching LaSalle Bank's first corporate finance group, leading institutional derivative sales and trading teams in New York City and Chicago, and leading his own independent floor brokerage operation at the Chicago Board of Trade. Jerry earned a Bachelor of Arts in Mathematics and Statistics and a Master of Science in Management with a concentration in Finance at Case Western Reserve University. He is a member of the First Horizon Pension and Investment Retirement Committee and chairs the First Horizon Advisors Investment Committee. Jerry is a member of the Board of Directors at Bartlett's own Youth Villages, where he chairs their investment committee. He holds multiple securities license and is a chartered financial analyst, holds that designation, and last but not least, he is a certified barbecue judge. Jerry?
Thanks, Todd. I appreciate the kind words. Thanks for having me today. It's always a treat to get out to Bartlett. Wanted to talk a little bit today about what's going on in the world of finance as it relates to the coronavirus. I know you all are sick and tired of hearing about the coronavirus and just want to get back to work, but it's what we're dealing with, and it has definitely had a major impact on the stock and bond markets around the world. But before we jump into that, I want you to think back a long time ago into 2019, because that was a year to remember. You may all remember that the market was going up like crazy. Global equities were up as much as 30% or more, depending upon where in the world you were investing. Taxable fixed income did a good job. It was up 14 to 17%. Even publicly traded real estate was up 30%, and gold was up over 18. So 19 was a really good year to remember, and 2020 got off to a pretty good start until this virus turned up. Before the virus turned up, what was important? What were the things we were looking at? Well, certainly global trade was important. You remember we were having a little bit of a Cold War with China. Global interest rates were kind of remarkable. They were negative in places like Germany and Japan. And here domestically, monetary policy was helping out a lot. And then last but not least, there's some notion that there's going to be an election later this year, and that was thought to be something that could have consequences for the capital markets. But since we had the coronavirus breakout, what's the most important thing now? Well, it's just this virus and developing a vaccine and some treatment protocols so we can get people back to work. What are some of the consequences of COVID-19? Well, we've certainly had our share of quarantines, shutdowns, stay at home, and social distancing. We're here at the chamber today, and we're all maintaining 6 feet apart and wearing masks. We had some corporate and government travel bans that kind of shut down the airline industry. We've also had a lot of event cancellations. I mean, by virtue of the fact that we're doing this virtually, we're still trying to get things done, but we're having to do them differently. Well, the bottom line is that we are experiencing a severe economic contraction. And the three things that we're worried about is how widely dispersed is this thing, how deep down did it go, and what's the duration going to be? How long are we going to have to put up with this? Well, it's interesting about the job losses. Certainly hospitality has been hit really, really hard. We think in total there are probably something like 37 million U.S. jobs at risk. Globally, that translates into a potential of over $3 trillion of lost income. That's remarkable. One of the things that happened was that people started filing claims for unemployment insurance by the millions. The chart you're looking at now is the unemployment rate, and it went from 3.5% to 14.7%, and the authorities think that they're undercounting it. They think it's probably a lot closer to 20%, maybe in the low 20s. The interesting thing, though, is not so much about the unemployment, but I like to look at the ratio of the employed people to the total population, and that's about 51% right now. What this says is that every other person does not have a real job. They may be retired, they may be students, but they're not working. That is a remarkably low level, not seen since post-World War II. You can see how it just falls off the side there. It's just a pathetic state of affairs we found ourselves in. Now, one of the things that some of the people have been raising questions is all the stimulus that we've seen from the Fed and the Treasury and Congress inflationary. And I actually think that there's probably more of a risk of deflation from the changed behavior we have. Now, there are a lot of things going on now. We mentioned the corporate travel bans. We're thinking that there's probably going to be a whole lot less corporate travel down the road. And that last box down on the bottom is what's going to happen to corporate real estate. If I can work from home, if I can phone it in, and I'm planning on continuing to do that, what's that going to do to the market for commercial corporate real estate? We don't know yet, but it's likely to have a diminished impact, and that is likely a deflationary pulse, not an inflationary pulse. I'm not sure what happened to this slide. It seems to have disappeared off the face of the earth, but it was supposed to show that manufacturing output dropped by about 11%. It was the biggest drop since, again, post-war. All the uncertainty is creating stock market volatility. You can see from this chart the big swings. The green bars are big upswings. The red bars are big downswings. That translates into something called the volatility index or the fear index. And you can see the spike on the right-hand side of that chart is up to levels that we have not seen since the 2008 financial crisis. The reason that we want people to take the long view is because on any given day, look at this 5-day chart, very squiggly, all over the place. But if you look at a longer term view, things smooth out pretty dramatically, and that holds for gross domestic product as well. This chart shows from the lower left to the upper right the continued slow but steady growth of the economy. The gray bars that are kind of vertical show periods of recessions, which is probably what we're in right now. Now, again, we want people to take the long view because we think time is the best medicine for volatility. How are we going to know when we're starting to come out of this? This table of high-frequency data was put out by a group called First Trust outside of Chicago. They think that if you look at the higher frequency data, it'll give you the easiest indication or the first clues that we're starting to turn the corner. So you want to look at weekly retail sales, you want to look at box office receipts, you want to look at average hotel occupancy and TSA bookings. You can also look at some industrial measures as well to get a handle on when we're turning the corner. The reason the market is doing so well in spite of all the bad news is because of the massive amounts of political response we've had on both monetary policy and fiscal policy fronts. The zero interest rate policy is back. That means the Federal Reserve has managed the rate on short-term funds down to the zero level. Zero is pretty cheap for money. It makes bankers upset when they see things getting that cheap. The Fed has also rapidly expanded its balance sheet. Before the great financial crisis, it was less than $1 trillion. During the great financial crisis, we got it up to $4 trillion, and it was starting to back off a little bit, but when COVID-19 hit, they jacked it up to over $7 trillion now, and some folks think it may be on its way to $10 or $12 trillion before it's all over. Not only short rates are low, but if you look at the rate on 10-year notes is low, and that's important for the housing market. If we can get mortgage rates down and keep the housing market going, that should help the economy immensely. Now, this is another missing chart. Some of these things have disappeared, but the total of the monetary policy stimulus that we got from the Fed and the fiscal stimulus that we're getting from Congress in this country amounts to 44% of GDP. That's huge. Globally, it's 23.6% of GDP, which is a very staggeringly large number. Now, if we look at where we are today and try to get a handle on where we might be in the next 12 to 18 months, we like to look at our five-factor framework. And as you can see on this, the dashboard's got some red lights on it, so we'd expect some kind of jerky and volatile markets. Economic growth rate is obviously, it's fallen off a cliff because of the stay-at-home guidelines. The market trend is low, but it's had a nice bounce lately. Today, the Dow is up over 600 points. Monetary conditions are very, very favorable. When the Fed takes interest rates down to zero and expands its balance sheet as rapidly as it has, that's good for the economy. That's a reason to be cautiously optimistic. Investor psychology is all over the map now. Everybody was very, very bullish in February, very, very bearish in March, and now we're kind of treading water, kind of trying to figure out if we're going to make those old highs back or not. People are a little bit concerned with valuations. This is a business about what price do you pay today for a dollar's worth of next year's earnings. And the reason that's red is we're not sure what earnings are going to look like for the next year or so. Most importantly, we want you to slow down because when you get greedy and optimistic in times like February, and you get fearful in times like March, you have a tendency to do the wrong thing at the wrong time. If you can get together with somebody like Todd and develop a good financial plan and stick to it through all these ups and downs, you should be good over time. But that's what it takes. It takes a well-defined plan, and everybody's plan is going to be different. That's why it helps to work with a financial advisor and get things straight so that you don't have to worry when the market starts bouncing around. That's all I've got. I'd be happy to take any questions that have come in off of the did you get any chat questions that need to be addressed? If not, please feel free to talk to Todd, and we can all get together and answer any questions you might have in that fashion. That's it. Yeah. Thanks, John.
Thank you, Gerald. Appreciate that very much. And as he said, if you've got any questions you'd like to chat in, please feel free to do so right now. And also you can direct your questions to him directly. I don't know if we've got his email address or not, but I know that we can provide that if you'd like to have that information to you. So, we wanted to make this a nice little short lunch presentation to you. We appreciate everything that First Horizon has done for this organization. By the way, they are one of the charter members of the BACC back in 1980, as of course it was First Tennessee at the time. Question number 3, I believe that was the one about, the answer was Brother Industries. In 1986, groundbreaking occurred, and they are the largest employer, obviously, in Bartlett. I think you all know that. But Rachel Lansdowne, with another bank here in town, actually got that correct. So, Rachel, we owe you a gift certificate for a restaurant here in the Bartlett area. So anyway, you need to contact Kathy, and Linda, you do as well, and anyone else who has won a prize. Now, I've got another question I'm going to leave with you. Now, I don't know who all is going to know this answer, but here is the question, and these real Bartonians will possibly know this answer. In what year did Bartlett Panthers win the state championship? Okay? If you've got that answer, chat it in quickly so Laurain can get that to us. Again, any community, do we have any community announcements, Laurain? No? No one announced anything? I think that Marley had mentioned the farmer's market. We have not got a date yet of when the pavilion will be opening up. We're hoping possibly in July, before the end of the summer for sure. And hopefully the farmer's market will have a interim location prior to that. So, with no answers to that question?
We just got one, but it's wrong. You said we got one, but it's wrong.
Oh, we have one that's wrong, what we've been told. And that is a quick question, folks.
We got one.
We got one. Okay, we do have one. Yes. Someone, remember the question is, in what year did Bartlett Panthers win the state championship? It's probably from the mayor. We'll see who got this one right. And here we go. Okay, Michael Detroit got that one right. And the answer is 2001. The Bartlett Panthers win the state basketball championship. That is excellent, fantastic. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you joining us for today, and we'll just play it by ear to see what happens in June, whether or not we're going to have a live in-person membership meeting or we'd go with another virtual. My only recommendation is do not go to any college pool parties between now and then. Okay, if anything else, anyone? Okay, we're going to call it a wrap. Thank you very much.